Hi there. Today's video is a special one because we're taking you behind the scenes and backstage at the 2025 Google App Summit right here in Ho Chi Minh City. Google's App Summit is bringing together the best minds in the app industry, and we have secured exclusive interviews and key announcements from the heart of the action. Get ready for an episode packed with game-changing insights. With global consumer spend in apps surging 13% this year, hitting a staggering $150 billion in spending, the app business is booming. But where is the real growth story happening? Look no further than APAC. APAC developers are not just participating, they are driving this growth, capturing a monumental $75 billion in in-app revenue in 2025, which is a massive 25% increase from the last year. In this episode, we're taking you to the heart of the action. And first up, we're meeting with Mark Wu, Google's country director for Vietnam, to discuss the immense market excitement and strategic growth in APAC that Google is driving. All right, guys, so we're here with Mark Wu, the country director of Google in Vietnam. Mark, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Good to have you here.
It's been a few months that our teams have been back and forth. We've got to meet each other, but we're here at the Think App Summit, so I think that's enough to get started. I want to start off with a key question for you. The app business is blowing up in Vietnam. The revenue, the app downloads, it's becoming a key role in the whole entire region. But what's beyond the data? What's really driving the growth story that makes Vietnam such an important piece for Google and APAC?
It is the first time ever that we are hosting multi-countries and multi-product areas from Google in Ho Chi Minh City. I think that's testament as well to why Vietnam is such an important and booming market for the app developer ecosystem. Now, beyond the data, so you've seen the numbers on the downloads, you've seen the numbers on installs, as well as the revenue. I think what's really driving the kind of momentum, and it's not just for the past year, it's been a multi-year journey as well, is really the people, right? The developers in Hanoi, developers in Da Nang, as well as Ho Chi Minh City, they're hungry, they're hustling, they're very entrepreneurial, and they are very, very humble. So they take time to also learn from each other. Community is very tight. They take time to also learn from the Supercells of the world, the Zyngas of the world, and really build, not just for Vietnam, but for the world.
I really want to know, and everyone here wants to know, how to make more money, how to make their users happy. So let's go straight into it. If they want to scale their business internationally, get more downloads, what's the most critical piece in the ecosystem of Google that they have to get right?
I don't think there's one. The trend is evolving very quickly. The users' attention, the apps, the games that they play, they use, I think that also evolves very, very quickly as well. I think all of us can relate. We have our smartphones and multiple apps, right? So I would say take time to understand the trends, the latest trends, and we have tools for that, right? Whether it's the search query tool or Gemini. And I would say that there isn't one single solution that I can think of, but I can think of maybe 20. And it's really the entire Google suite, right? From monetization, you can think about publishing on the Google Play Store. A lot of features there to get your game up and running. And then there is an AdMob for in-app advertising, monetization, and then to find users globally. And because our consumer platforms, our consumer products are being used by billions of people around the world, I would say the Google Ads solution is pretty robust. And all of those solutions are actually powered by AI, right? We have a company-wide OKR or objective where we need to make sure that we are infusing AI into all the existing products that we have to drive higher productivity, more efficiency. And those are really my tips, right? And literally anyone, anywhere in the world can be a developer that builds for the world.
My next question is about the future of AI. That's what everyone's talking about. I know Google's heavily invested into AI. What would you say are the challenges and opportunities for AI when it comes to app monetization specifically?
I think we're still in the early stages of AI. It's not a buzzword anymore, it's not a theory. It's very much practical, and a lot of developers, users are using it in ways in which we can't imagine as well. Whether it's vibe coding, whether it's prompting for prompts, whether it's creating creatives. So I think there's a lot of use cases where developers can actually utilize AI in game development, user acquisition, as well as monetization. So developers are sort of like using AI to drive more monetization is really streamlining the way they test their games, right? So there are AI tools that help analyze very quickly the A/B tests in terms of creating creatives from multiple regions. We spoke about going global. And going global is not just English, right? Even in English, different English markets, there are cultural nuances. AI can literally help in a blink of an eye, customize the kind of messages, the creatives to target the right users in those countries. So as a result of that, obviously you drive like higher ROI and literally more monetization. There are some challenges, I have to say, and it's one where we are deeply committed on. It's making sure that we are building AI or the usage of our platforms, Gemini, for example, are being done responsibly. What do I mean by this? I mean, you heard about deepfakes, you heard about like all this content on other platforms that are generating using AI. They seem real, but it's actually not real. So how do we ensure that it is the watermark is there, that people can identify right away that is AI generated? So it's still work in progress, but we are investing heavily in making sure that we are building AI responsibly.
With that said, what's the single biggest takeaway for all the attendees of today's summit that you want them to know?
I actually have two messages, and throughout the day, there's going to be multiple topics talking about like a lot of useful tips and new product updates. But if I were to sum it up to two messages, it would be AI, which we spoke about earlier on, and long-term sustainable growth. And what I mean by that is, if you think about the usage of the apps and how you are delighting users, ensuring that you're building the app with a long-term goal in mind to drive higher retention, higher long-term lifetime value, right? I think it's very, very critical for the future of development or the future of the app ecosystem. The analogy that I will use is, we eat vegetables to be healthy. Hopefully, we will live longer. But the constant, intake of like a high sugar diet or sweets, gets you that sugar high immediately, but it's not sustainable. So the key takeaway here is that yes, we got to build for the long term in mind. The user experience needs to be tip-top. We are also introducing a lot of non-intrusive ad formats to delight your users, and then ultimately it will lead to higher LTV and higher retention.
Cool, thanks for sharing those, Mark. I'll be listening to them today at the summit as well, so looking forward to all the keynotes, all the leadership talks, and of course from the app developers themselves. So thank you so much, and good luck for today.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Mark. Then we'll be catching up with expert journalist and content strategist Peggy Ann Sauls and chat with Lemon Choi, a blogger who runs China's largest WeChat minigame blog with over 17,000 engaged subscribers, as they both share the critical importance of app quality, retention, and consumer behavior for sustainable growth. So Peggy, first question to you. The market's super competitive, lots of new developers. What can app developers do to make sure that they can keep users on their app and growing their business?
That's the key right there, is keeping the users in the app by paying attention to the user experience. So user experience first and foremost, because there's a lot of choice out there. You said it yourself. They can go anywhere, and many do. I mean, it's 75%, 85%, depending on the numbers, will leave your app in the first day, 3 days. You're looking at a very, very steep retention curve. It will plummet. So what do you need to do? You need to pay attention to quality. And interestingly, part of that quality is now not just the game, not just the app, it's also the complete experience. So that brings in ad quality and all of those aspects of making certain that from end to end, it's seamless, but it's also enjoyable. It has to literally, as I would say here, spark joy.
Cool, thanks so much, Peggy. Lemon, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this particular challenge. What do app developers really need to focus on? Is it just the app not crashing, or is it about the in-app user experience with ads? Like, tell us, what's going to really make the difference for mobile app developers right now?
Most developers, they need to pay more attention to the app, not just the app quality, but also the in-app retention. I think the retention is a new key, because if you don't have a retention, you cannot monetize out of thin air. I think so. Developers should first, they focus on the app first. What they see is what they get, because I think the fake ad is not going to work anymore, because the environment is changing very fast. You need to build a very fluid experience for the player. What they see is what they get. But also inside the game, you have to have a very rich meta system to make sure they have enough content to consume and also enough content to monetize. So I think it's very important. Retention is the new king. App quality is equals to retention. If you don't have a retention, you don't have the monetization. So I think you should pay more attention to retention, especially the long-term retention. I think it's the new king. Okay. Whoever have the longest retention win the game in this ecosystem. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so Peggy, I want to go back to you. I want to really understand the mindset that developers can have when approaching this new idea of sustainability, of retention, not just some quick wins. What is that mindset that you think developers should keep in mind of?
It's going to sound old-fashioned, or we've heard it all before, but it is putting the user first and understanding that if you don't have a retention in your app, you really don't have an app. You have quick wins, but you will not get sustainable growth. And sustainable growth is what you need, because the LTV, it is the life cycle of your app. You want to extend the life cycle of your app, and you do that by focusing on the user and what builds retention. What builds retention? Great experience, trust, and also a healthy ecosystem around the app. That's why this is not just a one and done or a one show. It is about an ecosystem, so you need to connect with the various partners in the ecosystem, using what they have, their tools, their technology, to make it a holistic experience, and then it will by itself have its own momentum. And that's the whole idea behind sustainable growth, is that you have your app, you bring it to the audience, and then it continues. There's a momentum there that feeds your business and feeds back into the cycle of catering to your audience in the first place. That data, those insights, they need to come back into the experience. That's why I never see a funnel, I see a loop. And so the mindset is to think about the loop. But you have the loop because what you're doing is you're understanding that experience, because in a way that is your experimentation. Does the audience like it? Do the players like this? What do I need to bring more of into it? I mean, they are helping you shape your experience if you just listen. So those data signals, those are important, and overall using the tools all the time to make certain you're keeping the experience fresh, but it's also, again, sparking joy, right? Back to that. It needs to be enjoyable. Then the retention will happen on its own.
Very good. Thank you so much, Peggy. Back to Lemon here. I understand, as one of the consultants and experts about monetization, we need to look at data.
Yeah.
But beyond just the A/B testing and all these other tools that Google and all these other partners provide, what else can developers really think of to leverage to make the most out of their whole app experience?
Yeah, I mean, data is super important, because you need to make data-driven decision to each stage. Like prototype stage, you look at the retention and the play session, things like that. And the late stage, you need to look at the monetization signal, things like that. So data-driven decisions are very important. Also, I think you mentioned A/B tests. I think these are, most people underestimate the power of A/B tests, because for this top ad like the blog post and the last word, most people think this is just one game, but actually they're doing a lot of A/B tests every month. Maybe they do more than 100 A/B tests to make sure at different stage, different audience will have different experience based on the ad quality and also based on different creative. So A/B tests will definitely boost their LTV a lot, because you need to cater to different channel, different ad creative to make sure it appeals to different audience. So maybe you are one player in the Philippines, I'm a player in Singapore or US. We don't have the same experience. We have maybe 3 different player journey, because we are driven by different ad creative. So A/B test is super important currently in China, because I think a lot of developers doing a very aggressive in terms of A/B test to make sure they cater their user experience based on their app funnel. So I think it's quite important to don't underestimate the power of A/B testing, because I think Google provide a very great tool in terms of A/B testing. So data is very important. A/B test is also important, and cater to different segment of a player user will greatly increase your LTV in the long term. I mean, yeah.
Thanks so much, Lemon, for sharing that. I think, well, the tools, the tactics, and kind of the strategy involved with using data, when you combine that with the mindset, really cool stuff can happen. So let's see it all happen today at the Thinks App Summit. I think I'm going to learn a lot, hopefully you too as well. So welcome again to Vietnam, and let's go enjoy the summit, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. Oh,
Thank you.
fist bump, there we go. Next, we'll hear from Google's own Ali Pasha, Director of Product Management, as he unveils the latest product announcements specifically aimed at app developers, including the powerful new capabilities of AI. Today we have Ali Pasha. He is Director of Product Management for AdMob. AdMob, of course, is one of the most loved products in the app industry. Ali, welcome to Vietnam. It's your first time here?
It's my first time.
Just quick first impressions.
It's just like positive chaos is just amazing, incredible. That's probably how I'd describe it.
Yeah, compared to St. Paul, Minnesota, where you're working?
St. Paul, and I just came from Singapore too.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
very big contrast there. It's very cool.
I think one of the big themes today that I saw on the summit was how AI and data and all these new products and features you guys are developing are truly game-changing. So Ali, we talked about all these different products, AI, data, all these new features you guys are developing. As the Director of Product Management, what would you say is one of these key features that will actually drive measurable business results for your customers here today?
We had a lot of things to say about like what Google Ads is doing, what we're doing on the sell side, and I think ultimately the combination of like us, sell side, other buyers, and what's happening in the ecosystems. So we know that there's a lot of work that's being done just in like how bidding is working and the AI, and that's not new, but it's just getting better and better with all of the innovation that's happening. We're seeing all the innovation on creative side that's just coming in, so just much better creatives that's there. We're seeing a lot of automation. They're just making things a lot simpler for folks to do, which used to require a lot of manual work that now is just being automated away. And on the other side, like for like us on the on the sell side, on the AdMob side, where we see tons of benefit is like we have like things that we're also like brand safety is becoming leaps and bounds better because we can understand what's happening in these images and these creatives so much better. And we're able to even automate things like placements and augment ads with things like audio. All of those things are just incredible, exciting opportunities that maybe 3-4 years ago I thought may not have even been sort of viable. And it's come a lot faster than I imagined.
So with all the products and features that your teams are working on right now, Ali, what would you say is like the most consequential and impactful for the customers today if you just had to pick one or two?
Yeah, I think our ability to augment ads is maybe the most impactful. Like, so if you look at like what we talked about in the keynote around, chat AI ads, the fact that like you have your organic content and then we can do a really lead into your ad and explain, this is why you're seeing the ad, is amazing. Or if you just imagine like you're playing a game and like rather than seeing the ad, you can hear it, and then maybe when you end the game, you can see it. So audio augmentation, or even just our ability to detect spaces where might be good for ads, disruptive, and potentially show an ad there. These are all the kind of things that are almost felt like science fiction that to me just are now very possible, right? And it's not just possible, they're things we're running alphas with various partners.
What would you say the adoption rate so far for a feature like that is? I mean, it's super impactful if you know how to use it and you even know it exists for that matter, right? What is the adoption rate at the moment and where would you like it?
I think it's really early, and I think people are still experimenting and like to try to figure out how it could work best. I mean, we've seen this with almost all ad formats. It takes a while for it to get traction, and when it does, it does the hockey stick growth. And so I would say we're at the earlier phase of that hockey stick growth.
What is one key takeaway that you want every single attendee in the summit to remember from the whole summit or even just from your keynote?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be a trusted partner here. Beyond the reach, the fact that we're trying to do as much for like transparency and give partners control over decisions. And the fact that like we have done so much innovation in AI and we want to bring that all forward, we really just want to be a part of everyone, all of these app developers' journeys, and want to be a trusted partner that people feel like they can rely on. That to me is super, super important as a message. If we leave with here, it would be just fantastic.
Thank you again
Amazing.
for the time and sharing, Ali. Yeah, cool.
Appreciate
We'll see you next time.
See you then.
Cheers. All right, we're now at the studio here at the Thinks App by Google App Summit 2025 in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And I've got the pleasure of hosting in the studio a friend of ours, Antoine from Brali. It's a development studio based in Hanoi, and he's come all the way down to Ho Chi Minh City to learn from all the best practices and share his story as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Tuan Doan, CEO and founder of Brali. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about our company and how we build the business with Google.
We have you here today because you lead one of the leading app publishers in Vietnam. I think all the attendees that are coming from around the world, they want to hear Vietnamese stories. Before working with Google, what was the single biggest challenge to your company's growth and sustainability?
Our company is only more than 3 years. At the beginning, we don't have any experience in this market. I have background in Android dev and iOS dev, so we have strong at technical, but we have no experience in marketing and monetization. We just focus on organic. So we publish app on the Google Play and waiting for the user and get the organic revenue. When working with Google, we have the chance to know about how to reach user global by Google Ads, have the strategy to monetization, and Google help us to grow very much more time.
What a great answer from Tuan. Thank you for sharing that and sharing your insights about life before Google. So now I want to focus on life during Google. So Brali probably uses the solutions and tools that Google offers every single day. I'm sure on your dashboard you have 5-10 different things going on, and everything from Gemini to AdMob. What are you using right now for your company, and what kind of solutions are driving success for you today?
We test many features of Google. When we join with Google team, I told them that if you have any new feature, please let me know, and we enjoy alpha and beta testing. I will talk about 2 key features help us to grow very fast at the beginning. The first thing is the collaborative banner, and when the first time we testing with collaborative banner, it helps us to increase the eCPM and help us to grow much in revenue. And still now, our case study you can find on the Google AdWords resource.
Cool.
And the second is the AIO campaign. When AIO campaign is the T-ROAS campaign, help us to get more user and higher ROAS. So it is the two key help us grow much in 2022, and it's a base for us to grow in 2025.
Antoine, hearing you share about these features, I want to sit next to you at work when you're using all these features and see how you use it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
My next question really is for all the other new publishers. They want to get started, they want to distribute their first app, they want to build their first company. What's some general advice or tips that you can give them?
Currently, Vietnamese have the very strong advantage. You can see Vietnam, currently we are in the top 3 in terms of download, and we can see very many successful case stories, 1 million, 10 million, 20 million revenue in terms of INP and subscription. I think it's currently our Vietnamese trying to go global with strong support from Google and other partnerships around from the world. I think we can build and grow up very fast. So if you are the creator, you are the founder, I think it's the time you can fly. So don't miss this chance to grow up with the Vietnamese industry.
So it sounds like it's a window of opportunity. Be proud of the Vietnam brand. Be proud of the Vietnamese team and talent that we have here. So make the most out of that and work with Google.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Antoine, for today's talk. I know you're representing Brali today as one of the folks from that company, but it's also a good reminder to the audience to know that Antoine here is also representing some of the best Vietnamese developers that you can find and app publishers. So thank you so much, Antoine, and let's go enjoy the summit.
Yeah, thank you.
And that brings us to the end of today's video at the 2025 Google App Summit right here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We hope some of the insights and takeaways include all the industry leader insights that will help your app business grow.
And from cutting-edge product announcements to the wisdom of our top thought leaders and publishers, we trust that you found valuable takeaways that you can use right away. Thank you so much for joining us at this year's App Summit in Ho Chi Minh City, and we'll see you next time.